implementing this, as my colleague mentioned, the England the NHS guidance. So there's no work, like additional workload. And so all these resources we've prepared, and it's all free. And there's a toolkit which is endorsed by the Royal College of GPs and Royal College of Nursing.
And as well, just on that point, we've also, it's just been included in the Greener, I think it's the Greener, I'm going to get the name wrong now, the Royal College of GPs Greener Practice Toolkit, I think it's called that. So yeah, we've just been added to that as well.
And now if we get to Sussex, because I think this is where we are.
Okay.
We've got over 30 practices across Sussex, and I think 17 in West Sussex. So this is around 20%. So there's more progress to be made, and we know that by the end of this or after this conference, that number is going to go up. It would be great really to see this going up this afternoon. And probably by show of hands, if anyone is comfortable, do we have any safe surgeries? Ooh, isn't that nice? And I think it's not even on one side, there's one there, one there, one there.
Yeah, they're not all friends.
So I think we can all make friends, and please maybe, I just want to request maybe 1 minute, Joe. Do you mind sharing?
No, not at all.
What, just how has it been with your practice? If it has been, if it could be helpful to the others too.
So, what are the pressing the button? Sorry, I'm not very good at this. We signed up probably about 2 years ago, I think now, and it's really easy to sign up. It is literally, as they say, it's just filling in the forms and then doing some online training. That was really helpful for the receptionist, because we've all been told, haven't we, over all these years, you know, you need proof of address, you need proof of ID, and actually a lot's changed since then. So the training was really, really helpful. We have posters up outside on our notice board and also inside, and we have them on our website and on Facebook as well. And we have actually had a real increase in patients, and a couple of case studies that we've shared actually around patients sort of seeing that poster and thinking, thank goodness I'm not going to be asked for proof of address. I know one of the questions will probably be around how do you find out about catchment areas and things like that. On our website, what we did is we put something so that you put in the postcode checker, and then it will say, sorry, you are in the area or you aren't in the area, or further down, and it says, if you're a vulnerable patient, no fix the bow, please click here, and if they then click there, then they can register anyway. So that's why we've done it. But it's been really, really positive, and haven't looked back, and if you've got a CQC inspection pending, they love it. Thank you so much.
I think a few of the benefits already mentioned there. I think we can hear you.
Thank you so much, Joe, for sharing that. And I think that probably can help whoever has not registered to think about registering as a safe surgery. So everything has been, you talked about the CQC, and I think maybe several of you may not be like comfortable with that, but at least with that testimony, I think we can all think that it's possible, and it can be done. And I think we would love to see that the staff, it supports staff learning and skills building, and sharing good practice across the national network, and overcoming challenges with other GP practices. And I think when we came in, I think let me remember the name, I've forgotten. I think Kay was sharing about the social media. So I think Joe is giving us an idea how you can work on your pages and then make life easier for everyone. I think that is good. We are all learning here. Thank you. And these are just some of the some of the free resources to improve the patient registration. So we've got that toolkits, we've got the translated patient posters, we've got the newsletter, we've got guidance and templates and policy notes, So some examples, of course, the main guideline posters. This is all because for especially the translated patient posters, that is very important depending on your community because most of them are put off. And as I mentioned again, we have developed all this because we know that it has been us who are affected, so we had to find a way of developing it, and it's all free to you all if you need it.
Oh, I think we've got a video. We've got the video now, which I hope is going to work. There we Okay, so that was just a bit of a quick recap and also just to give us a bit of a break. So there we go. So the toolkit, which is on your tables, outlines 7 steps for safe patient registration. So not insisting on proof of ID or address. So it's about recognising the wide range of reasons why people might not be able to provide these documents. So it's not necessarily just migrants. There's people that might be living with a friend who might not have anything with their name and address on it. People who are undocumented, aren't able to rent property, open a bank account. So again, very difficult to get something with your name and address on it. Passports, driving licenses, they're quite expensive to renew. It's about £100, isn't it, for a passport? Not everyone has that. I think there was a study, probably misquoting it massively, but a few years ago, and it was about 20% of UK citizens don't have a passport or a driving license. So that's affecting such a wide range of people. Then never asking about immigration status. So it's not relevant for primary care entitlement, and it can be intimidating for some patients. So the GMS1 form supplementary questions, they're optional, and it should be made clear to patients that are registering that they don't need to complete those questions in order to register if they don't want to. Then making sure patients know that their personal information is safe and won't be shared with other authorities only in very exceptional circumstances. Using interpreters if needed, displaying posters to reassure patients that your surgery is a safe space, and empowering frontline staff with training and an inclusive registration policy. Completely lost where I am here, but let's just go with it. So obviously a key point of that is updating practice websites. So patients before registering are likely to go to a website even if they want to register online, and then they might come across something that says you must bring your passport with a visa in it and 5 years of bank statements or something ridiculous, and they're just going to not do that. If it's insisting on that on the website, then they'll probably say, okay, that means I can't register. So a lot of people will be affected before they even get into the practice. So having up-to-date and clear information about entitlement on your new patient registration pages is key. So we've got a couple of resources to support with that as part of the Safe Surgeries Network, a checklist with some examples of text that you can include on your website just to reassure patients about the registration process. And then empowering frontline staff. So I've mentioned the importance of having a registration policy that has a pathway for registering patients without documents. And we've got a template, so there's a document here on the left. If I knew what I was doing, I'd do a little pointer thing. Oh, is there one?
Yeah.
Well, it's all right. The one on the left. you can add your practice name there, or you can take parts of it and incorporate it into your own registration policy. We do training for all staff, mostly non-clinical frontline reception staff, and it's really useful to have that in the induction process for any new staff as well. So we have an e-learning course which takes about half an hour, which is something that people can do as an induction. And then having a safe surgeries lead, who is someone that's subscribed to our monthly updates and disseminate some of that information, make sure everything's up to date across the practice, is really useful. And then we've got another poster, which is the one on the right. Again, you can put your practice name in, and it's just a reminder of the key principles for reception staff, which you can display somewhere where people can see it. So I think we are about done. So we've just got a video to finish, which is from a practice in Kingston who've done safe surgery for a few years, and they're just talking about their experience of it and the impact that it's had on their practice.
Hello, my name is Ellie. I'm practice manager at Churchill Medical Centre. We've been a safe surgery for many years, at least the last 4 or 5 years, and we found it to be a really positive experience.
I'm Naomi, I'm first contact medical admin at Churchill, and the changes that have been made since we became safe surgery are mainly that the registration process has become a lot easier for both the patients and us on reception. We're not required to check any documentation, which makes it quicker, simpler and less intimidating for the patient, so that they can get medical advice as soon as they need it.
My name is Fosan. I'm one of the pharmacists here at the practice. One benefit for the patient that we've noticed is that they end up with the diagnosis of the condition, especially if they've gone a long period of time without one. We do longer appointment times for patients who struggle with the language, and they find that beneficial for them.
My name's Leisha, I'm the reception manager, and my advice for other surgeries would be just do it, it's the right thing to do, and it doesn't generate any extra work for the surgery.
So, I think we are done. So our final request is for, if you are willing, to sign up as a safe surgery. So the QR code is there, it's everywhere. I've mentioned it like 5 times already. But yeah, it would be really great to see that map become a bit more colourful across Sussex. Any final comments, Olivia?
I think the final comment I would say is just to probably give you my personal story as a person who was turned away from registering. I didn't have the proof of address, and I was told no, you cannot. So I had a big lump at the back here, which was really so painful, and I wanted to seek advice on what was happening and how I could get it sorted. Then I had to sit back and until I got a friend who directed me to Doctors of the World. And when I went to Doctors of the World, I explained myself, and I was looked after. Then I was directed another 3 Doctors of the World to the same surgery. Then I was registered. I managed to go through the surgery to get the lump removed, and